winner is
Oh,
Hulk Hogan.
Okay. We need another great American.
He's the first ever G1 winner.
Yes, first one ever.
Wow.
It's all right. All right, so moving on with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and move on with pro wrestling news now. I want to go ahead and move on. Obviously, we did mention earlier about Brock Lesnar being a free agent. Obviously, it took away his merchandise and, took out everything down. I mean, rumor in your window was going around, which we're just only here to give our opinions once again, ladies and gentlemen. We're not Brian Alvarez, Dave Meltzer, or Wade Keller. No, fuck all of those motherfuckers. That's all I got to say about that. But we're just, giving our opinions, but as a fan perspective. So there was rumor in your window about Lesnar possibly going to AEW. Maybe going to AEW. Obviously, Brody Leak was the first one to comment. Oh, and the money was rumor in window $10 million. It's what I heard, 10 mil. But I don't think the Khan has the money, but why do it? It doesn't make any sense for him to go at all. This is my opinion about it. But, Brody Lee threw up his first comment. I'm like, he doesn't fit. He won't fit. Because there's already a lot of big men in the company. And if he thinks he's going to just jump right in line in the front line, no. You have to go through what we all went through. So I'll welcome him if he wants to come to AEW. So bold statement from Brody Lee, stating that. So, Mr. Hero, want to give your thoughts. You think, does he stay, or does you see him in AEW? Where do you see Lesnar going? Or I know you said it earlier, but I think that might happen. But go ahead, explain. Give the audience what they want. Tell them why you want Brock Lesnar in the UFC.
Lesnar has to go back. There's this gentleman by the name of John Jones who is not even arguably, he is the greatest of all time. He wants Brock Lesnar, and they've been wanting to fight each other for years, actually. So it would be interesting because, it would be Brock's first match back. It would be John Jones's first match at heavyweight. It's money. You might as well just print money from that because people are going to buy it. Or, you got the WWE fans, you got the MMA fans. It makes sense. Dana White already said that he wants to make that match, but as long as both of them, agree to it. And Lesnar has to re-enter the USADA drug pool to make sure that he's not on roids or anything like that, right? Mm-hmm. So as far as AEW, no, I don't think so. I mean, why go to a new employer? I feel like Brock is a smart guy, and either he's waiting to see, for people to kind of speculate on what's going to happen, and then announce, oh, well, I'm still in WWE. But I don't know. I feel like kind of the aura of invincibility has kind of fallen a little bit, especially with this loss at WrestleMania, with McIntyre. And the year before that, I believe it was with Rollins, right? The aura of invincibility is not there as much as it used to be. So what do? You go back into the octagon, you get that aura right back by beating the greatest MMA fighter of all time, and you go back to WWE. And honestly, if he goes to UFC, he's gonna make millions of dollars just on one night, Mm-hmm. And he's always said that he's been a competitor at heart. He loves to fight and all that good stuff. So, and he was good at it. He got to be a champion. So, hey, I would say give him a shot. And but no, AEW, I don't think that's a possibility, realistically.
All right. Mr. Killer, your thoughts?
We are talking about the beast incarnate right here. We're talking about a man that is a license to print money. He is one of the highest paid, if not the highest paid professional wrestlers ever, other than The Rock. I mean, if you think about it, wrestling wise, he hasn't went to Hollywood or anything. In the business of wrestling, he's probably the highest paid of all time. And this guy is a fucking draw. He is the fucking man. And I don't see, it's really hard to see Brock Lesnar go anywhere else, but that's because we haven't seen him go to another wrestling organization besides New Japan, and he done that. And if you think about it, if he done that, Brock, to me, Brock goes where the money's at. Brock doesn't give a damn about the business like everybody else does, like the rest of the wrestlers do. He likes it, you know, it's a job to him. It's a job to him. And he's going to go where the money's at. He can love it a little bit, but at the same time, it's all about the money to Brock. And another thing, he was in WWE and he got to fight, what was that guy's name? Mike Hunt in the UFC.
Mark.
So, I mean, Mark Hunt, he could do both. He could do both. He is a smart businessman. This motherfucker can work out where a situation where he can go to AEW, have limited dates, and he can fight in the UFC. This motherfucker is money. And as far as Brody Lee goes, he's either shooting and being a dumbass, or he's preparing, you know, because, hey, if Brock Lesnar does come, I want to wrestle him when he gets to AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Because Brock Lesnar, you think about it, if Brock Lesnar goes to AEW, that's the equivalent of a John Cena or an Undertaker showing up on that show. That is a big fucking name, hate him or love him. That is a big fucking get. And he, like I said, he's going to go where the money's at. And he might just end up in AEW and fucking UFC with a limited schedule. He could do whatever he wants. I mean, he's in the position still. He didn't lose any momentum from losing any wrestling matches, in my opinion. He's still a badass motherfucker, and we know he can fight. So, I mean, Daniel Cormier, you want to come out of retirement? Come get you some, too. And you, too, John Jones, because I don't give a damn. Brock Lesnar will whoop your asses, too.
There
He
you
will
go.
whoop both of your asses at the same damn time.
There you go. I love that bold statement right there. Mr.
Oh, and here's another spoiler. If he does go to AEW, you're looking at the future AEW World Heavyweight Champion, Brock Lesnar.
Not a prediction at all.
Not at all. It's a spoiler.
Right.
Mr. Steamboat.
No, he can do both. He can do both.
You're very true. You're absolutely right. I think Khan will allow him to do it. Mr. Steamboat, go ahead. What are your thoughts?
I gotta say, I do agree. He's a huge name and a big draw, and all the above. But like, I think about what he did in New Japan, and you know, that 3-minute squash match with Nakamura, and I'm like, ugh, I'm kind of cringing at him. Like I personally say, please go anywhere but AEW, Rock, please, because you know, I don't want to see him just kind of like do 3-minute squash matches with all the top guys, get the title, and then only show up half the schedule and then drain all the money. You know, let's ask for like a huge.
Yeah, but he can put on a good match when he wants to, though. Like,
yeah,
he's had great matches with like Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles. The list goes on and on.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it depends.
And I'm just hoping he doesn't decide to go the other route. You know, is what I'm hoping for. Like, if he does, then please learn from the past and don't do, you know, what you did with New Japan again, and like, you know, that 3-minute match with Nakamura.
I feel like that really comes down to Tony Khan and management. There, are they gonna allow that to happen? You know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Yeah.
I mean, he's Brock Lesnar, man. He got the $10 million. Is Vince McMahon gonna top it? I don't know.
I think
I have to find out on that one.
McMahon is able to go ahead and top it, but he'll stretch it out, and he'll give him less dates as he's always had.
That's also another thing. Like, you know, you think like Brock has a lot of respect for Vince, like since you know, all they've been through together.
They love each other.
You know.
I'm pretty sure they love each other.
Yeah, it's like your common Stone Cold Rock. Even with I can mention CM Punk on this, but it's like a love-hate relationship, you know.
We're gonna find out for a fact, though, in this situation. Does Brock Lesnar love money more or respect more? That's what we're gonna find out.
I think it's a little bit of both, but it's more in reality money, because I think he already proved himself enough. I don't think he gives a shit. How you said earlier, he doesn't give a shit about the business, only about the money. Because I mean, every year, every WrestleMania, he main events and he fucking loses because he puts people over. And it's so predictable. That's the problem, that Vince needs to fucking step down and stop, and needs to get away from that, because Brock Lesnar is he's a spoiler. That's why they say that, because it's true. It's so fucking true. So
also, you got to think about when he goes to AEW, like, who's built up enough to be believable to beat him? And if they do beat him, will it bring his stock down?
No, like how Mike said, don't bring his pride down. But that's why he's better off to go to UFC to regain it back, to get that, that pride, the momentum, and, compete back in the mixed martial arts world. And obviously what's going on after Cormier, after losing, after retiring, and now John Jones dropping the light heavyweight, and now moving to heavyweight, it sparked everybody's eyes out. Like, okay, this is an opportunity to Lesnar to finally, go back to the heavyweight division and fight John Jones. John Jones should not be the heavyweight champion right away. He should be having a couple fights in the heavyweight division, because there's a lot of great fighters in the heavyweight division before he even gets to Stiopic. That's just my opinion about it, and the same goes for Lesnar. If he goes back, you got to start from the bottom. Just because you're a star, tough shit, you got to start everybody.
I tell you one thing. This fucks up our at least my Brock Lesnar Bobby Lashley fucking wrestling match. God damn it.
Mm-hmm. We never got that either. We never got the Bobby
It's like
Lashley.
Sting and Taker, man. It's like Sting and Taker. We wait for a long time for them to get under the same roof, and then when they do, they don't fucking make it happen.
They don't make exactly. Vince so sleeping on the ball, man. Somebody call him.
I was thinking like Vince. He could fucking make how they did Brawl for All and all that shit. He could fucking put an octagon somewhere and like have this fight happen and have it be a real fight and have him do it. Could he?
Josh, I got the best analogy for you. It's like cooking your favorite meal and not serving it to you at all.
Yeah, it's bullshit. It's bullshit.
I'm gonna keep this Lashley and Lesnar thing alive for a little bit right now, because I've heard also rumors that Bellator is interested in Lesnar, and they want to put him against Fedor Emelianenko, which is something that people have wanted for years.
That's another one, yeah.
Same. If he goes to Bellator, Lashley already has a relationship with Bellator, and I don't know if he's still under contract or has fights in the contract or whatever. I'm just gonna say yes because I want it to happen.
Interesting.
And so that possibility keeps the door open. At least that's what I like to tell myself.
I think that's one of the reasons that Lashley came back, was to have a match with Lesnar, because every time I see somebody on the internet when they was talking about him coming back, it was Bobby Lashley Lesnar. Lashley Lesnar, and I seen a bunch of tweets from him saying he wants it to happen. So I mean, like, I think he definitely wants that fucking match up.
And don't forget him, if he does go to Bellator, if Lashley goes, you forgot Hager. Hager is signed with Bellator.
Ooh. Is he a heavyweight?
He's a heavyweight. Jake Hager, a heavyweight. That would be another interesting.
Oh, Brock Lesnar versus Hager?
Lesnar would win, though.
Yeah,
I think
Lesnar would beat the fuck out of him.
I mean, of course, but it would be interesting to see, though, because now it'll put Jake Hager. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Devious One IBC here from the Circle Debate Podcast, alongside with my brothers, the American hero, the great American hero with the 12-inch pythons, Mike Lopez, and also the serial killer, the social media killer, the killer of all killers, Josh Brett Horn, Reputation Killer. And also we have the Steamboats, the Cordonas, the Karen beaters, the whatever the hell he's doing, the Max Kellerman, Max the Steamboat. Stay tuned every Friday and Sunday to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our YouTube channel below. See that little ring button. You will get the alert that we're actually putting out every new episode every Friday. And also stay tuned every Sunday. We do have our top 5 of the week. Every week we have different top 5s. We already had 3 matches. We already have, best factions. Now we're going to do dream factions. So stay tuned. Follow us on our YouTube channel. Subscribe below. You see the little bell. We'll subscribe to it. And also don't forget to follow our other social media platforms on Twitter, @Circle Debate. Also on Instagram, @Circle Debate. So stay tuned every Friday and Saturday. Friday and Sunday. The beer's talking. That's what happens. But stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Don't miss it out. Circle Debate every Friday and Sunday.